I am Roro, and this is Roro Rants. I'm 52 years old, and I unfortunately got interested in politics way too late. When I was younger in college, I was really smart, and I majored in physics, and I went into engineering because back then it was Reagan days and the Cold War, and all the smart people were going into engineering. We needed engineers. And I figured politics, they got it covered. America was doing great. Economy was pretty good. There were jobs, and I was naive. I didn't listen to the news very much, and I thought everything was going great. So I didn't really get interested until 9/11, and then I realized, wow, President George W. Bush, something is really screwed up here. And that's when I started getting interested in politics. And at the time, I was in the space program working on the Hubble Space Telescope, and I really enjoyed it, loved working for the space program. Anyway, didn't really have a lot of time, but I tried to stay informed. And when 2008 came along and we got President Obama, I thought, well, now everything's going to be great. Change, right? We're going to have change. And was pretty disappointed. I mean, we did get the health care, which was great. Obamacare, lots of people who didn't have health insurance before got health insurance. But other than that, he did a lot of good things. He saved the world from economic worldwide collapse. So, I mean, that's a pretty good thing. I mean, when George W. Bush left, we were pretty much on the brink of worldwide economic collapse. So, he saved the world. So I can't say anything really bad about Obama, but I don't think he was really the progressive that we all thought he was going to be. He's just another Democrat. And then, this primary, we got Bernie Sanders, and I thought, wow, this is it. Here's a guy, and I've been keeping my eye on Bernie Sanders for probably the last 10 years. He was the one dude in the Senate, and even back when he was in the Congress, I mean, this dude was for real. He has fought all his life for the same progressive ideas. I mean, everybody thought he was crazy back then, but he wasn't. He was right. He was right about everything. Behind every single bad decision that the United States have made, you can find a video of Bernie Sanders warning us not to do it. This was the dude who was going to save us. And then came the election fraud. And I know a lot of you think it's conspiracy theories, and believe me, I have seen my share of conspiracy theories. It's very interesting to watch some of the Republican conspiracy theories, all those crazy ones, you know the ones I'm talking about. So I can tell a real conspiracy theory from the truth. The election fraud is not a conspiracy theory. There are lawyers who are very good lawyers who would not be working these cases if it was not in their best interest. These are the lawyers that worked on the election fraud in 2012 and who helped Obama to win the election, because if it wasn't for those lawyers, we would have had President Romney, because these lawyers had the Secret Service and the FBI involved, and they made sure that there was not election fraud and that Obama won. So these lawyers are good. And they put out a 98-page report. And I have read most of it. I've already seen most of the material anyway that went into the report, because I've been keeping my eye on this case. And I'm also one of the 150 people that's in the other case that's suing the DNC to get our money back that we invested, because it was the election was rigged and the DNC wasn't fair. So I'm also in that lawsuit, and Beck and Lee is also a very good law firm. So they would not take this case if there wasn't something to it. So the election fraud is not a conspiracy. So anyway, now we're stuck with a choice of Clinton or Trump. So we have our choice of Trump, who is a fascist, or Clinton, who's a neoliberal fascist. So either way, perpetual war, the elite class still in power. Nothing's good's going to come of either one of them. The only good things about Hillary are, things like the Supreme Court justices, so that we'll be able to keep abortion legal and keep gay rights and civil rights and all that. So there's a few better things about Hillary. But, I don't want Trump to be president, of course. And of course, Hillary's probably going to win. But it looks like Jill Stein is getting a lot of Bernie supporters. And, she's really going to give Hillary a run for her money. Or who knows, maybe this lawsuit will come out and Hillary will have to drop out and Bernie will take her place. It's possible. If Julian Assange releases something really crazy about Hillary, but it seems like she's above the law anyway. She's already murdered 5 people, Seth Rich and Sean Lucas and some other people that Seth Rich was going to be a witness in the case. He was getting ready to get subpoenaed for that case. He worked with the voting records and stuff. And then Sean Lucas was the person who served the DNC with the lawsuit. He got killed. So all these people are getting killed. I don't know who the guy was that got crushed by the weights. The weights crushed his throat. That probably wasn't an accident. So there's a big body count. And so a lot of people are risking their lives. But anyway, I'm 52 years old and I've lived through a lot. And I remember communist USSR before the Cold War ended and what it was like in communist USSR. I mean, I didn't live there. I lived here in the United States, but I remember hearing about what it was like there. And all the things we feared about communism have come true with capitalism. Our news is censored. Nothing on CNN or MSNBC is you don't get the whole truth anymore. I have to watch progressive news stations on YouTube, like the Young Turks and Sane Progressive and the Humanist Report and Secular Talk and all those news stations. I have to watch them to get my news because you don't see all that stuff. They don't cover it on CNN. CNN and MSNBC is part of the corporate media. They're just the corporate media. They're bought and paid for by the corporate elite who run everything. And Fox News has always been a joke, but actually lately Fox News has been more truthful than, not truthful, but at least you get the scoop about the Democrats. But anyway, but they're always crazy. They're the ones that have all the crazy conspiracy theories that the Republicans think up that are total bullshit. But anyway, so we have censored news. We are starting to have the police are starting to be like we have a police state where they're just they're always in riot gear. They're always sometimes we got the army marching in the streets. They're beating up people for no reason, detaining people, trying to arrest people for no reason. Pulling people over for traffic stops, and if they're black, they just harass them and arrest them, especially in Texas. The Texas videos are just heartbreaking. When I see that, they're just trampling all over our rights. And so getting back to the ways that were like the old USSR, we got censorship, we got the police state, and election fraud. It's bad. I mean, this is the United States of America, and we don't have freedom anymore. We've given up our freedom. Plus the NSA, listening to us and spying on us, So we're like the USSR used to be. So everything we feared about communism has come true with capitalism and worse, because It isn't even the government. It's this corporate elite that really runs everything. They're the ones who are choosing who our elected officials will be and rigging the voting machines to make sure those. I don't think Hillary's doing it. No, it's the powers that be. So that's one rant. I have more. And it's really depressing. It's really depressing because I feel like this corporate elite, they have no right to own this country. Why? Because they have money. Where did they get that money? They didn't fucking earn that money. They stole that money from the middle class. They got that money by cheating the middle class out of their money. They robbed us. They cheated and they robbed. What do CEOs and Wall Street, what do? They gamble and they cheat and they rob. They don't work hard. Don't talk to me about working hard. You know who works hard? The soldiers that fight in the war. They work hard. They should be making millions of dollars a year. No, their families end up with nothing. They die and their families get nothing, or they come back crippled and they get nothing. How fair is that? And you know what? The middle class and the poor people, we're the ones who should own this fucking country. We're the ones who sent all our men, my dad, my two grandfathers, all my uncles fought in World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, all these wars fought for our rights, for our freedom in this country. They all fought for that. We own this fucking country. And you know something? The black people, their ancestors worked as slaves and worked their asses off to make everybody else fucking rich. That's how we got prosperity in this country. That's what made this country the richest country in the world. Slave labor. So you know who owns this fucking country? Everybody, the poor people, the 99%, not the 1%. The 1% stole it from us. They fucking robbed us, cheated, and gambled and stole it from us. We are the inheritors of our freedom. And they're taking it away from us. They're taking our freedom away. Our freedom of speech. You want to see someone get pulled over for a traffic stop, and if the police don't like the way they talk to them, they get arrested? What the fuck kind of shit is that? We have free speech. We have the right to fucking cuss out a cop if we want to. If we're getting a ticket, yeah, we're gonna get pissed, and we should be able to cuss out a cop. He has no rights to put his hands on us and arrest us, and then say he's arresting us for resisting arrest. Resisting arrest to what? What the fuck kind of shit is that? And then if we want to protest, protesting is the Americans' rights. We can protest. That's our right. There should be no fucking cops out with riot gear. They're trying to take our fucking rights away. That's what they're doing. They're getting ready. They're getting ready because they know that the 99% isn't going to put up with this shit anymore. They tried to make the Democratic National Convention look all merry on TV. They didn't show on CNN or MSNBC what it really looked like. If you want to know what it really looked like, watch the YouTube videos. All the fucking Bernie delegates left. They left and went outside and they were protesting, and I saw no news about that. It was all censored. I had to go on YouTube to see what was really going on. Actually, Fox covered a little bit of the protest because they wanted to say, oh, look, all the Bernie people are going to turn to Trump. Of course they're not. They're turning to Jill Stein. But anyway, I had to watch it on YouTube to see what was really going on. And you know what they did? I saw people with camera phones filming the empty seats. The fucking DNC was empty. Nobody wanted to see Hillary's speech. Nobody wanted to see her old saggy old ass giving her nomination speech that she stole when they knew that she stole that election. So they left. They were protesting outside with the protesters. They got seat fillers to come in and fill those seats so that CNN and MSNBC can show everybody cheering for Hillary and what a nice speech she gave. It's all a fucking show. It's not real. So our news is censored. So what the fuck is happening to this country, man? What? This is fucking unreal. every day. I wake up, things have just changed so much. I've lived through so much. I've lived through the Cold War. I've lived through when we were little kids and we thought we were going to get nuked by the commies. And we used to have drills and we would hide under our desks. I've lived through that. I've lived through the end of the Cold War, and then there was no jobs and I had to change my career. Thank God I went into space program. But anyway, lived through that, then lived through 9/11. And then we find out that 9/11, that it was Saudi Arabia, our biggest ally, Saudi Arabia, was behind 9/11, and they don't tell us that for 15 fucking years later, after we went to war with Afghanistan and then Iraq. We went to war with the wrong fucking people. It was Saudi Arabia all along. What the kind of fucking shit is that? This world is so fucked up. I'm telling you, man, I'm not going to tell you anything that is a conspiracy theory. I will provide all the links to everything that I say in the comment section. I don't talk about any conspiracy theories like that there's aliens coming down or that some planet's going to come and we're all going to go to some other planet. I don't play that shit. I'm talking about only real stuff that I have proof. I am a scientist. I know how to tell. I know how to do research. I know how to tell what is real research and what isn't. So anyway, I'm pissed off about a lot of things. I haven't worked for the last few years. I have a bad back, and I had back surgery. I got metal rods in my back. I got a plate in my neck. I just got neck surgery last year. I've had knee surgery. I'm a mess, and I can't work anymore, so I'm stuck in this house. So I spend a lot of time looking up stuff on the computer and watching videos, and I care about the world, so it's hard to stop doing this. And people tell me, look, you got to have some fun. You got to do something in your life that's fun and take a couple hours a day away from this stuff and go do something. But it's really hard, man, because, you know, I care about the world. I care about what kind of world I'm going to leave to my son and his kids someday. And, you know, so anyway, I said I was going to stop a couple of topics ago, but I really am going to stop now. I'll provide the links to what I was talking about, and I'll hopefully be back to post another video. Maybe I'll go into detail on some of the other ones I talked about. Thanks.